In the rolling hills of ancient Greece, a lone figure ran through the scorching heat, driven by urgency and a sense of duty. His name was Pheidippides, an Athenian messenger whose legendary run from the battlefield of Marathon to the city of Athens would become one of history's most enduring tales. This is the story of Pheidippides, a story of courage, sacrifice, and the birth of the modern-day marathon. It was the year 490 BCE. The Persian Empire, the largest the world had ever seen, had set its sights on Greece, a collection of city-states that valued independence above all else. The particular city-state that was to meet the Persian forces was the Athenians. The Persian forces landed on the plain of Marathon, just 26 miles from Athens. Even with the Athenians outnumbered, they were determined to stop the Persians in their tracks, march to meet them, knowing that their city, their families, depended on their courage and strength. The Athenian army, led by General Miltiades, marched to block the two exits in the plains of Athens. The Athenian army took up position on the plain, facing the might of the Persian forces. The battle that ensued was fierce and brutal. Despite their smaller numbers, the Athenian soldiers and their phalanx, a disciplined wall of shields and spears, charged at the Persians, surprising them with their determination. Against all odds, the Athenians achieved a decisive victory, driving the Persian invaders back to their ships and securing the safety of their city. But the battle was not the end of the story. The people of Athens, waiting anxiously for news, had no way of knowing if they were safe. It was then that Pheidippides, a trained hemerodrome, which is a messenger or courier, was called upon to carry the message to Athens. According to legend, Pheidippides ran the entire distance from Marathon to Athens without stopping, covering nearly 26 miles under the relentless sun. The path from Marathon to Athens was not an easy one. It was rough, hot, and unforgiving. Yet, Pheidippides ran on, driven by the importance of his mission. He knew that his fellow Athenians needed hope. They needed to know that they were victorious, that their city was saved. With each step, Pheidippides carried not just a message, but the fate of a city on his shoulders. At last, Pheidippides reached the city. Exhausted, his body pushed beyond its limits, he burst into the assembly of Athens. He cried, "Joy to you, we've won!" The Athenians had triumphed over the Persians at the Battle of Marathon. But as the story goes, after delivering his message, Pheidippides collapsed, succumbing to the extreme exhaustion of his nearly 26 miles run. His sacrifice became a symbol of courage, endurance, and unwavering dedication. The story of Pheidippides has captured the imagination for centuries. Whether every detail is true or embellished, what remains is the powerful symbolism of his run. It speaks to the spirit of the Athenians, their commitment to defending their freedom at all costs. The image of a lone runner delivering news that could decide the fate of a city is timeless in its heroism. The legacy of Pheidippides lives on today in the Marathon, a race that honors his legendary journey. Each year, thousands of runners take to the roads, following in his footsteps, pushing themselves to their limits, inspired by that ancient story of perseverance. The marathon is more than a race. It is a testament to the human spirit, to the belief that we can achieve the impossible if we dare to try. For the modern marathon runner, the distance of 26.2 miles is a challenge of both body and mind. It is a distance that pushes the limits of endurance, a test that demands dedication and courage, qualities that Pheidippides embodied on that fateful day. Though the battlefields have changed, the spirit of the marathon remains, a symbol of what it means to face adversity and triumph against all odds. The story of Pheidippides is a story of endurance, sacrifice, and the power of the human will. From the dusty plains of Marathon to the modern streets of cities around the world, his legacy endures, reminding us that there is greatness within each of us, waiting to be tested. This is the story of the first marathon, and the legend of Pheidippides, an enduring symbol of courage that transcends time. To get a better idea of the kind of hardships that Pheidippides had to go up against during the lead-up to the Battle of Marathon, and to then deliver the news of victory, all in the space of 2 days, then I would recommend checking out The Road to Sparta, which is a documentary that follows 4 runners that attempt to follow in Pheidippides' steps.